Thank you for being here and celebrating Lizeth and David tonight. Like they said, I'm Karina. I'm the maid of honor. I met Lizeth at Rackspace when we were both interns. That's our Rackspace crew, if you haven't noticed. We were both interns, and then we luckily later both got hired on full time, and we spent every day together at work, and we've been inseparable since then. It's kind of ridiculous. So I've definitely heard a lot of her dating stories, and they were not so great. So I was excited when she finally told me about David. And the first thing she showed me was his Instagram. And I immediately approved because he had Kawaii laugh in his bio. And Lizeth and I thought that was hilarious. And I'm not from San Antonio, but if you live here, you've heard a great deal about the Spurs, so I expect a lot of you to know what the Kawaii laugh is. And if you don't, you need to go look it up. But that's when I knew I liked this guy. When I finally met him, we went out for drinks after work. And I remember she told me he was already in bed, and he got up, got dressed, and went to meet us. So I was like, okay, that's points on his part. Just getting out of bed, that takes a lot of effort. And knowing him now, I know it's an even greater effort. But I thought he was super cool, really nice that day I met him. And that was just a small indication of what he would do for her. He's just been so caring of her. I remember one time she had to take her pups to the vet, Marbles and Parker, and if you've talked to her for a minute, you know how important they are to her because she brings them up every time. But I remember she said he left work just to meet her there because she was so flustered and worried. And I just thought that was the sweetest thing because he just took off work to go meet her. So it's her and her pups and everything she loves is just number one for him and being there for her. And so she does the same for him. She's so supportive. They've been through so many difficult things during COVID. She pushed him to go back to school, get his master's in accounting. We made him one of us. He's an accountant. And they're just both so good for each other. And I just remember her telling me how much she prayed for a good man, someone successful, tall, handsome, with a dad bod. And then here comes David, checking all those boxes. And she was so excited to get married to him because it was perfect for her. So much so that I had to convince her to be patient with him so many times. Wait till he's gonna propose. I know he's gonna propose. Don't break up with him. Just have patience. And then he finally did. He proposed. And that day was so special. I was fortunate enough to be there, snap photographs for them, and you can just feel how excited they were, how in love they were, and how relieved Lizeth was that he proposed. It was just amazing. And then from then on, it was wedding planning, bachelorette parties, and the bachelor trip too. And the whole time we went to Nashville for the bachelorette trip, and I forbid her from speaking about David or texting him or talking to him, and she would still sneak away and do it. And I'm gonna say this, her parents probably won't like it, but I told her, anytime you bring him up, you're gonna take a shot. So you can just imagine how that went. But we're finally here today, and everything came out exactly how she planned it. She did so much work, And I just want to say that I love you both. I'm so happy that you found each other. I know that you're going to have an amazing marriage. You two are the best people, and I just wish you the best. I love you both. Thank you. Now I'm going to raise a toast to the bride and groom. Everyone can raise your toast. So here's to Lizeth and David and to the beautiful marriage I know they're going to have. Thanks.
Let's get a big round of applause for the maid of honor, everybody. All right, if I could have the best man, Alex, and if you'll stand right over here, sir. So please give him your attention, everybody.
Thank you. Great job, Karina. That was beautiful. Oh, right here. Yeah. Before I start, just want to ask people refrain from interrupting me during my speech. David, I'm specifically talking to you. David and I have known each other for quite a while, so I apologize if this speech does go on. David and I met back at St. Peter's during middle school, even though David was 2 years older than me. I know he looks a little bit more, but that's where we met. And then we continued our friendship onto Central Catholic High School, and college is where we parted ways. I did not go to Texas A&M University with David. Hold on. Oh, sorry, he went to Blinn and UTSA. Sorry, my bad. What did I say about interrupting? Okay. And like most of David's close friends, when I first met him, I didn't really like him. I wasn't a fan. He was obnoxious, annoying, and borderline a bully. Not even borderline, he was a bully. Bullied me. But with David, you gotta take him in doses. There has to be a lot of balance when it comes to David. I'm sure Lizeth can speak to this. I still remember the exact moment, the exact night where our friendship really took off and sparked, and some might say bromance started. That night, it was a hot summer night, hot summer San Antonio night. We're at my parents' house. And this moment was so special and so rare, especially nowadays, that when you share this moment with someone, you're bonded for life, and you remember where you were during this moment. And that moment was watching the San Antonio Spurs win the 2014 NBA championship together. So David and I did the San Antonio thing. We drove downtown, honked, walked around the bars. At the time, David was 21, I was 19 and looked 12, so we didn't get into any bars. But he still stood by my side, and we shared laughs and cheering, lost our voices, and had one of, I think it was the first of many, many heart-to-hearts that, if you know David, he loves to have. So that night is where, everything started. So fast forward a few years from then, David and I have the opportunity to live together. We're blessed enough to have a chance to live together in my grandparents' old house. And we were so excited. We're two young guys in my early 20s, David's mid-20s, and we're just like, this is gonna be the best. This is gonna be the bachelor pad. We're gonna stay up all night playing video games. I don't even play video games, but I have to stay up late because David plays video games and he plays super loud. So yeah, this is gonna be awesome. Bachelor pad, yeah. Like a month later, he started dating Lizeth. Some of y'all might not get this reference, but if you're a Jersey Shore fan, David was literally Ronnie on season 1 when he says, "Don't fall in love with the Jersey Shore." And then he goes on to date one girl for the rest of the series. That was David. So that comes up to my next point, which is, let's be honest, the main reason why we're here, Lizeth. I'm sure everyone here read the story on the wedding website about how they met, but in case you didn't, but I know you all did your homework, but I'll just give a quick reminder. We met at a Spurs game, group of friends, mutual friends, just went on to a Spurs game, and we met there. and then we went on to Bombay's. Bombay's was their favorite spot. And obviously up to that point, David's flirt games had not worked. And like Karina said about Lizeth, I mean, David's dating past was not the best. But his flirt game, for some reason, that night, when he asked Lizeth to be his pool partner, I don't know if it was his height, his dimples, but it worked. It worked that night. And the next part was not in the wedding story on the wedding website. But I think it's like a month later, David and I are having our annual monthly roommate one-on-one date night. We're at a dinner. And David posts a story on his Instagram story of me saying, roomie date night. And millennials, Gen Zs, if there's someone at your table that's a little bit older, help explain what I'm about to say to them. But when he posted this on his story, Lizeth slid into his DMs. And she said, "When are you taking me out to dinner?" People forget that, but not I, not Pepper Ridge Farms, not anyone. So, even though David is terrible at basketball, I beat him several times one-on-one with nobody in the audience. The ball is now in his court, so, because she slid into his DM, so it was in his court. So David he knew he had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything he ever had. He had one moment, and he would capture it. He wouldn't let it slip. So David and Lizeth started dating, and like I said, with David, there's balance. You gotta take him in doses. Learned this in Miami after spending 3 straight days with him. I needed like 2 weeks away from him, okay? David, you still owe me $65 from the Airbnb fee, but it's fine. But what we all can agree about David and Lizeth is that they have such great balance. They're the perfect example of balance. Like I said, David had a terrible dating past. And when he knew Lizeth, and when she sent that message, something lit up in him, that there was a spark I had honestly never seen before. Like, he knew that he had to jump on this opportunity. Lizeth brings out David's loving side. He's a huge softie, and Lizeth brings it out. I think David brings out Lizeth's true side, her true self. She can just be whoever her true self is, you know? And if you spend time with them, they're definitely caring, and they show it. They love each other, and they are so perfect for each other. Since David and Lizeth have met, growing up from a Catholic family, David has always had strong faith. But I think we can all agree that when David and Lizeth started dating, their faith definitely improved. It was definitely stronger. And like I said, there's good balance when it comes to the two. David is loud, passionate, obnoxious, loud. Lizeth speaks like a normal person, an appropriate volume, and like Karina said, is very, very, very patient. And I think that goes to what Father said too during his homily about how the people view church and they see how the church loves Jesus. There is no question that when an outsider looking in, you can tell that they truly love each other and they will do anything for each other. And that comes from their upbringing as well. Shout out to Lizeth's parents. Y'all did an incredible job. And David's an incredibly lucky man. I mean, look how beautiful Lizeth looks in this dress. It is so nice to see her in a dress, considering she's always wearing the pants in the relationship. So it's nice to see how beautiful she is. And also, David, goes to your upbringing as well. Your sweet as can be mother. And of course, your very soft-spoken dad. If you had the chance to meet David's dad, he was just the most soft-spoken, brilliant, very kind, but would throw in like little jokes every there now and then that you didn't see coming. I know he was just so proud of the both of you, and he loved Lizeth, and he's definitely watching down looking on us tonight. I want to thank you both for having me as the best man. We're in a room full of great men, lawyers, doctors, military veterans, and yet I am the best. Again, David's words, not mine. I know you two are going to have a beautiful family and make beautiful babies. Let's hope they get David's height, sense of humor, passion, Lizeth's brain, patience, and definitely athletic ability. Just take a moment to look around this room and see how many people are here for you two. See how many people that you've impacted throughout your whole life. You had 16 guys at your bachelor party in Miami. That is not easy to plan. Both of these parties have done such a great job getting together and getting along and just overall sharing their love for the both of you. I mean, I don't know if you've been able to see you guys, but every chance you get, I mean, one of us is just encouraging the other one up constantly throughout the night and throughout this whole process. So I'm going to end my speech with one very wedding cliche, and then we'll toast the couple. When you know, you are no. So my glass is empty, but to Mr. and Mrs. Arno.
Cheers. Great job.
Thank you.
One more time, big round of applause for the best man, Alex. I think we all got to know the couple a little bit better after that.
Matron of Honor, Mara.
If I could have the matron of honor, Mara.
Forgot my glass. Okay, I'm gonna do the walk of shame and grab my glass. Sorry. I'm gonna blame it on pregnancy, Blaine. That's all. Okay, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. I met Lizeth in high school. I was honestly scared to sit by her because I came from public school and I was nervous, and it just was overwhelming to go to a new high school. And we bonded over golf, and I will never forget all the golf practices, her dad making us split up because too much gossiping, not enough golfing. So we've known each other for a while, and it's just amazing to stand here because she's been there for me through all of my big moments. She was there with me during my wedding day. She's there with me now through these other milestones. And so I just think about all the bus rides that we had, listening to Michael Bublé, and thinking about what our lives would be at this point. And so I'm so happy she found somebody who's gonna take care of her, who's gonna love her endlessly. And I'm so glad that she's going to do the same for him. So let's all raise a glass for David and Lizeth. Okay.
Big round of applause for the matron of honor. And now a few words from the brother, John.
Hi there, I'm John. Known Lizeth since 26 years ago. I remember she sang every nursery rhyme to me. And then David, I've known him for a little bit after they met up, became official. And when I saw him, I thought okay, this guy's cool, yeah. And I never really had a strong opinion about him until one morning right after church, we went over to 50/50, we were having a brunch over there, and we had gotten a call from a neighbor that her dogs, Marbles and Parker, managed to escape from the front door, ran out to the streets, and we all rushed back over there, and David was the first one there. First one to go over there, and the first one to make sure they were safe, and he did tell Lizeth that she should have locked the door better, but I don't know, at that point, it just seemed more like he's not just there just for like, a quick date or whatever. He's there kind of to stay. He knows that they're wrong, but he wasn't like trying to fault her for it. It's more of a learning experience for her. And as long as I've known them, it's been that way for the both of them. Like, I'm sure David, he does end up starting a lot of things, never finishing them, and Lizeth will make sure everything is done, but has a hard time trying to start things up, so. Yeah, a balance for the both of them. So it's one of the many ways that they kind of complete each other, and it's nice to see someone who can actually complete my sister as well as he does. Yeah. And yeah, I'm happy to have David over here as a brother now. And so a toast to the Mr. and Mrs. Arno.
Thanks, John. Cheers.
One more round of applause for John, everybody. And now a few words from the father of the bride.
All right, first off, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. It's really special to us, and it just means so much to see everybody here. It's just beautiful, and thank you guys so much. And be careful going home. I know some of y'all travel quite a bit. We pray that you get home safely and everything ends up well. I wanted to let you know a little bit. Lizeth and I, we spent so much time together. I don't know if some people don't know, but she's a big-time golfer. We had a lot of time on the golf course. I taught her how to play the game, and it was just, we spend 80 hours a week out there on the golf course just practicing and doing whatever we needed to. And it was so much fun for me. Sometimes it'd get very frustrating, we'd get to, and I used to have to take her to some of the other, not the other, but I had to take her to some other teachers, and just to let them reiterate what I was telling her to do. Strange, for some reason, I could see her swing. From the top of her, up here, I knew where her hands were and all that. And Mara was part of our golf team in high school that I also helped coach. Matter of fact, we were the girls team. We won state. We won district, regionals, and state 4 years in a row. Yeah. And our girls team, it was a Catholic school, so it didn't go over very well. But we're all the hookers because we learned how to hook the ball. That was our golf swing. So anyway, it was kind of weird. But that kind of comes where our father-daughter song came from, The Promise, because there's a lot of times that we spoke to each other and kind of didn't really get our point across very well. We might have said things that wasn't very, very kind at the time. It wasn't ugly, but it wasn't very kind at the time. But that's where our song came from. And that's why it meant so much to us. We couldn't even practice a song. As a matter of fact, we didn't even listen to it because we couldn't do that. But that's Lizeth. My first thing about David, he came to visit one time, and he was over at our house, right? And I had to leave for some reason. I had something to do, probably work or something. But anyway, we were blowing the front yard, getting the leaves off. And so he comes up. He said, "Mr. Escobar, I can help you if you like." I said, "Okay, David, that's really kind of you." So I gave him the blower and I told him, just blow the leaves and get them out, we'll pick them up. So I left and I came back home and all of the flower bed that we had, the bushes, all the mulch was gone. He just blew everything out of there. And I was looking at him, I said, well, David, thank you. You did a great job. Yeah. But anyway, that was my first vision of David. I do appreciate David a lot. Ms. Arnold, y'all did a fantastic job. Thank you so much. I knew Lizeth was going to be mine, and I didn't realize this, that she, growing up when she was born, that she was only mine temporarily. She's going to be yours forever. And I welcome you into the family, and I know, Ms. Escobedo, we're very proud of both of you guys, and we love you both. Thank you.
One more time. Let's hear it for the newlyweds, everybody.